Gorp. What's Gorp?
Find out next on Junk Feud.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Junk Feud, the podcast about junk food, where we rate and review mystery treats to determine which one will be the undisputed champion of snacks. I'm your host, Mike. Alongside me, as always, Alyssa.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Liz.
So, what type of music does a mummy listen to?
What type of music does a mummy listen to?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be rap music. Come on, that was an easy one.
Hold on. Okay. Oh, what did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet?
Supplies.
Stop!
That's one of Grandpa's favorite jokes. You have to do better than this, kiddo.
Okay. What does one wall say to the other?
What does one wall say to the other?
Yes.
That I don't know that one, actually.
I'll meet you at the corner.
I'll meet you at the corner. Ugh. Well, you started out strong and got progressively worse from there. And those, in fact, were dad jokes. Jokes you tell to your dad. If you'd like to submit a dad joke for Alyssa to tell me on the show, you can send it in to us via Twitter or Threads now. We've joined Threads.
What's Threads?
It's like Twitter at Junk Feud Pod or via email to junkfeudpod@gmail.com. Liz.
What?
Welcome back once again to the world's yeetest podcast.
Welcome back.
We are doing what?
Hitting them with the riz each and every week.
And it is still Alyssa road trip month.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, hop in the snackmobile.
Skirt.
Hit the road with us. We're taking a road trip. This has been like a little mini adventure for us, hasn't it?
Yesterday, me and my friend cut my doll's hair.
Yeah, so... All right, that has nothing to do with road trips. But listen, I opened the door to the studio today. And for those of you who are friends of the show, you will know that our podcast studio is also the kids' playroom here at Junk Feud headquarters. And in this playroom, you have a doll, a bust, essentially, of like a, I don't know, quarter scale human person head with hair and a face that's like a thing you can practice doing makeup on. Is that right?
Yeah.
And instead of doing that, you and friend of the show, Adelia, cut half of the hair off of the head of this doll?
It was already cut. I already gave her a trim a while ago, but we were just fixing her.
Well, it looks absolutely terrifying. It looks like one of those mutant creations that Sid, the next door neighbor from Toy Story, might have made.
One time I tried to cut her bangs.
Well, you definitely did cut her bangs. She now has no bangs. And her head is twisted completely backwards on the body of this thing. And you have it setting on a shop stool that we use as the seat for our arcade game here. And when I walked in, it looked like this robot mutant half-shaved head doll was staring right at me. And I panicked for a brief moment and almost dropped my computer on the ground. So thanks for that. That was a pleasant way to start my day. We're recording this in the morning today. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah.
I can't wait to actually do the show, eat some snacks, and get outside and enjoy the outdoors. And in fact, that's what you do.
Mall.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not going to be outdoors. That's going to be indoors. But for the most part, since it's so nice and it's summertime and it's road trip month, we're going to be outside. And Alyssa, a big part of taking a road trip is getting to that destination where you're going finally. And for a lot of people, that's unknown adventure in the wilderness. Things like camping and hiking, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of adventure, we saw the new Indiana Jones movie, didn't we?
The Dial of Destiny.
The Dial of Destiny. This was actually your choice. I let you pick what movie we were going to go see at the theater, and you chose Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
I chose Elemental, but you didn't want to see that.
Well, yeah, because I would have rather seen this. And so, Alyssa, what did you think of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny? No spoilers, please, because it's still relatively new. Just your impressions. What did you like? What did you not like? What did you think of it overall?
It was okay.
It was okay, says Alyssa.
The other movies are better.
We did watch, because we were still in the mood for some Indiana Jones adventure, we watched Last Crusade last night.
I wanted to watch the one with the monkey.
That would be Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
We can watch that today, for sure.
No, today we're watching Elemental.
I will take the opportunity to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark anytime it is proposed. Anytime it's on TV. In fact, if I'm ever on an airplane that has an entertainment system and Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of the choices, that is my Possibly my number one go-to watch on the plane movie.
Wow.
Even though I've seen it probably 100 times. It's so good. What did you think of Last Crusade? You said Dial of Destiny was just okay.
Yeah.
Last Crusade was what?
The one yesterday?
Yeah.
I like the other ones better.
You like the other ones better? I like Last Crusade.
This one was good, but I don't know. I like the monkey one and the Kali Ma better.
You like the monkey one, which is Raiders, and the Kali Ma one, which is Temple of Doom, obviously better than this one. A lot of people feel, I think, the way that you do. I mean, generally speaking, I think most people think that Temple of Doom is the weakest of the original three, which would be Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade, just because it's tonally so different. It's kind of like dark and mean and kind of nasty and vile in a way. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's why I love it.
And that's why you like it, of course. You're totally into watching Molarem rip the hearts out of still living people. That's pretty awful.
Well, I mean, in this one, they beheaded someone.
That's true. There were some beheadings in Last Crusade. Last Crusade plays kind of like a buddy comedy, doesn't it? It's like Indy and his dad getting into hijinks.
Can I say my joke about Indy?
Yep, please do. No. Wait, no. I know which one you're going to say. Don't, because I'm going to have to bleep it out. Liz, a big part of the appeal of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was the very beginning, the opening action sequence where young Indiana Jones is hunting after the Cross of Coronado. It's a way for us to see Indy when he was a boy, which is a thing that a lot of people are interested in, origin stories for their heroes and popular culture figures.
Yeah, it could have been a lot better, except for the fact that he was 80 years old.
Well, that was for Dial of Destiny, yeah.
Oh.
Well, there's not really a way around that. Harrison Ford is an 81-year-old man. He's still in great shape for an octogenarian, I should say.
Cannot believe he did all those stunts.
Well, probably he didn't do many of those stunts. Indiana Jones, as a character, is a stunt-heavy kind of guy, and Harrison Ford does a lot of his own stunts in the films, except for Temple of Doom, where he was hurt. He had some, I think, a slipped disc in his back. He was in pretty bad shape, was pretty banged up, and he has a bunch of stunt doubles that would work for him, including a guy named, I think, Vic Anderson, who was his primary stunt double, who went on to be like, I think, a second unit director even on some of these films.
I scarred my foot earlier.
Oh, you were doing some stunts of your own and you got a scar on your foot?
I fell in the corner of my room on the plug.
Great job.
Yes.
Liz, we were talking about the beginning of Last Crusade where Indy's out in a place called Monument Valley, that stark wilderness in the west of the United States that looks like a scene from a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote cartoon. You know what I'm talking about there? One of our most impressive natural landscapes. It looks like he's with a scout troop. They're kind of hiking through the wilderness before he gets distracted with that chase and the discovery of the Cross of Coronado. Liz,
what?
I wonder, with Indy out there with his scout troop, what do you think they were snacking on?
Maybe some trail mix.
Oh, well, that reminds me, Alyssa, of this week's snack. Up next on Junk Feud, it's
trail mix.
Trail mix, yeah, of course. What road trip is complete without trail mix? I say none of them, obviously. Liz, what is trail mix?
Wait, I want you to say it.
You want me to say what trail mix is? Well, I mean, definitionally, it's a mix of seeds, nuts.
Indy.
No, thank you. You set me up for that, didn't you, you little weasel? A mix of seeds, nuts, and dried fruits eaten as a snack, especially by hikers, Alyssa.
And road trippers.
And road trippers, of course. This is a very open definition, I would say. We're going to come to find that out as we talk a little bit more about it. But trail mix is kind of like anything that you want to put together. But the general guidelines are like things that are nutritionally dense and lightweight so that you can pack a lot of them into a small bag and bring it with you to keep you satiated on your hikes.
I prefer Chex Mix.
You prefer Chex Mix. Another variety of a snack mix, just like a trail mix is intended to be eaten while hiking on a trail. A snack mix is intended to be eaten while sitting around and snacking, right?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the history of trail mix, Liz? I mean, it's a bit controversial, actually. As far as the history of snack mixes go. Here's a quote, Liz. A handful each of shelled nuts and raisins with a cake of sweet chocolate will carry a man far on the trail or when he has lost it. You know who said that?
Who?
Famous outdoorsman Horace Kephart.
In his 1910 volume, The Book of Camping and Woodcraft.
Yeah, The Book of Camping and Woodcraft, a historical tome by a guy named Horace Kephart, who was indeed, as I said, a famous outdoorsman. In the early 1900s, he was writing all of these very large volumes of like instructional manuals for how you could live outside and be a camper and a woodsman and things like that. I found a copy online in the Internet Archive of the 1916 edition of that book. It was like 900 pages long, and I read a fair amount of it. I skimmed through like half of that book last night just to find that single reference to a handful of shelled nuts and raisins and sweet chocolate, which is, for many people, the genesis of what's called trail mix.
There's raisins in it?
Yeah, there's raisins in trail mix. And we'll talk about why in just a moment. But
I don't like raisins.
Well, that will factor into your review today, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Liz, that was 1910. What else was going on in 1910?
There were a bunch of coal mine explosions.
Yeah, weirdly enough, like a whole lot of coal mine explosions in 1910 to start with. Halley's Comet, Alyssa, passed by Earth, wouldn't come back until 1986.
China outlawed slavery even as they invaded Tibet,
yeah. The Chinese in 1910 outlawed slavery, which was good, but also forced the 13th Dalai Lama into exile, which was probably not so good.
And Jack Johnson beat James Jeffries in a boxing match.
Yeah, that sparked some race riots, which was also not very good. The Mexican Revolution began 1910, Alyssa.
Akira Kurosawa.
Try again. Akira Kurosawa was born, Alyssa.
Oh. And Mark Twain died. R.I.P. to a real one.
Yeah, another person that died in 1910, Alyssa, if you can believe it, Thomas Crapper.
Thomas Crapper.
Do you know what Thomas Crapper did for a living?
No, he was a plumber.
Thomas Crapper was a British plumber. Isn't that great? There's an old wives' tale that says that Thomas Crapper invented the toilet. He did not actually invent the toilet, but he was an early plumber around the time of indoor
Can
plumbing.
we get that on a flag?
Thomas Crapper?
He was a plumber.
Thomas Crapper was a plumber?
Yes.
On a flag?
Yes.
Like to fly in front of our house?
Yes.
Why would we do that?
Can I get one for my wall?
We'll have to look into that. If you know of any Thomas Crapper merch on the internet, please give us a heads up.
I want to get a Taylor Swift 2024 flag.
What does that have to do with Thomas Crapper?
Because we were talking about flags.
Oh, boy. Liz. Thomas Crapper, a popular legend around the turn of the century. Also a popular legend, Liz. Here's an interesting thing. There are a couple of... Oh, yes, you're showing me...
It's at Walmart.
You're showing me a Taylor Swift for President 2024 flag.
It's at Walmart. We have to go get it.
Actually, save that thought because when we get to the back of the box, that's going to come up again.
Really?
Liz, yeah.
Okay.
There's a popular legend that says that trail mix wasn't actually invented until 1968. So 1910 here, we have at least a reference in print to something that would approximate trail mix. There's a legend that says that there were two California surfers who mixed together handfuls of raisins and peanuts to keep their energy up for surfing sessions. Here's the thing, though. Nobody seems to know who these two guys actually are. They're never named anywhere. We obviously have documentary evidence of mixing nuts and dried fruit together in relation to outdoor activity earlier than that. And mostly this myth seems to be promulgated by two California nut-growing farming companies and industry groups. So I don't have a whole lot of faith in this interpretation, Alyssa. And even 10 years earlier, in 1958, author Jack Kerouac was referencing trail mix in his novel The Dharma Bums. So at least 10 years earlier than 1968, when trail mix is claimed to be invented by these two unnamed surfers. And then as far back as 1910. And then also, Alyssa, I mean, if we're trying to pinpoint the exact origin of a thing with a very loose definition to start with, it's really tough because there is a very long history in this world of people that are packing dried, nutrient-dense, trail-ready comestibles for long treks across the wilderness. In fact, we talked about this on the beef jerky episode already, didn't we?
Yeah.
People packing their pemmican, right?
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense that peoples that would be in proximity to nuts and seeds and fruits would end up putting them in the same saddlebags all mixed together.
Yeah.
In fact, Alyssa, even in Europe, as early as 1833, there's citations in Denmark for a thing called studenterhavre, which is student oats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like raisins and almonds mixed together. And even at Christmas time, Alyssa, they would put some chocolate in it too as a treat. How about that?
Wow.
So we have all this history of things that are called trail mix or that we would recognize today as trail mix Why is trail mix then associated with hiking, Alyssa?
I don't know.
I mean, it's something that you eat on the trail. The secret's in the name, right? It is trail mix. It's not road mix or ocean mix or sky mix. It's trail mix. It's
well, then where do you eat Chex Mix?
Am I supposed to say on the Chex?
Yes.
What is the Chex?
I don't know.
I don't either. I mean, I eat Chex Mix mostly
everywhere.
Well, on the couch, I was going to say.
Well,
like a big bowl of Chex Mix watching the Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We did that.
We did that whole episode. Yeah. So, Liz, I think trail mix mostly follows the rules of like things that you might pack out when you're hiking a trail, right?
Yeah.
What are some of those rules? The thing you're going to bring with you when you're hiking should be lightweight. You don't want it to weigh a lot, to weigh you down.
Yeah, it doesn't take up space.
Yeah, it doesn't take up a lot of space, especially if you have limited space available in your pack, especially if you're doing like a day hike.
It's nutritious and calorie dense.
Yeah, nutritious and calorie dense. You're going to be out in the open, exerting yourself. Physically strenuous activity will be taking place. So you want something that's going to replace all those vitamins and minerals that you're losing and giving you some calories so that you can have energy to carry on with your day. And of course, that depends on exactly what you put in it. But these things, Alyssa, would be exactly what you want when you're out backpacking, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Do you like backpacking, Liz?
Sure. What's that?
I mean, it's like going on hikes and carrying everything that you need for your hike or your camping session in a backpack with you.
Oh, no.
No?
I just make you guys hold everything.
Well, yeah, when we go backpacking, it's really I go backpacking and you guys go tagging along.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly I'm carrying all the stuff that we need when we go on a hike.
Yes.
And then you and your brother are wandering around, picking up sticks and rocks and looking at animals and splashing in streams and such, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably a pretty good way to do it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite hike that we go on, Liz?
Not the weird one we take through the back of that Schooley's Mountain.
Not that one?
No, where it goes all the way around.
Oh, you don't like the big loop?
No, because you're like, oh, don't worry, it's a shortcut. It won't take long. And it took us 4 hours.
It definitely did not take 4 hours, but it is a slightly long trail for a day hike. I mean, especially when you have small children. When you guys are a little bit older, it's going to be a little bit easier, but...
And I remember that's when Grammy was with us and Bella, and Grammy almost said, go without me. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, we did lug your grandmother, who has famously bad knees, along on a rocky trail hike for a few miles.
And then we asked her if she wanted to do a trail again with us, and she said, are you out of your mind?
Hey, to her credit, she made it that time we brought her with us.
Yes.
Shout out to Grammy.
We didn't have to pick her up.
No, that's true, because I definitely was not going to be carrying her the rest of the way.
But when Grammy gets angry, she starts talking nonsense.
So genetically, that's a thing that she has in common with your mother and you, then.
I do not do that.
Liz.
What?
We were talking about trail mix being nutritionally dense, right?
Yes.
So would you say then that trail mix is healthy? A healthy snack?
I don't make mine healthy.
Well, so how do you make yours then?
Well, I make you make it and then I eat it and call it mine. But there are pretzels, seasoning.
You're talking about snack mix here, not trail mix.
Oh.
Like the Chex Mix that we made last year.
Oh yeah.
Different things, right?
Barely.
I mean, it's all in the intention.
I've never had trail mix before.
You've never had trail mix before?
No.
Wow, so this is interesting. So trail mix, Lissa, most people I think would say is probably a healthy snack, but again, it depends on what you put in it. And here's why. Trail mix is mostly eaten by young, active adults. It's $1 billion per year industry. This is according to a market research company called IRI. Part of the allure, Alyssa, is that it seems like it should be good for you since it's mostly just whole foods that are mixed together, and also because it's associated with a healthy activity, which is specifically hiking trails. So then, is it actually health food? Well, Liz, it can be, of course, and a lot of that, like we said, depends on what you put in it, but almost also how much of it you eat. And it's important to remember that trail mix is optimized for hiking because it's nutrient and calorie dense, and it's designed to replace that energy that you lose during strenuous physical outdoor activity. But
you should do this one with Chasey.
He would like this. Chase would love this. We would do an episode of Health Feud, and I think we probably will, because if I can convince him to eat the constituent components of trail mix, I will consider that a major victory for myself, for this family, for him and his palate. Liz, if you are eating sensible portions of seeds and nuts and dried fruit and maybe some other stuff like granola and chocolate, probably you're okay. Nuts and seeds have healthy fats. Dried fruits have fiber and antioxidants and things like potassium. So that's all good. Some of the salted mixes, like the mixed nuts, can be high in sodium. Added candies like M&Ms have a lot of sugar, but if you're exercising and eating just enough to get you by, then probably you're in good shape. But here's the thing. If you are like sitting on the couch, shoveling down handfuls of Monster Mix.
Like me and you.
Well, thinking that you're going to be healthy because you're eating trail mix, you are in trouble because these are, like we said, calorically dense. If you're eating handfuls of mixed nuts and seeds and granola and chocolate, you are like shoveling in thousands of calories, probably pretty mindlessly.
Mindless munching.
Yeah, mindless munching. What did we say the scientific name for that was?
You never found it.
We did. It was some sort of hyperphagia.
I don't really know then.
Yeah.
Polyphagia.
Hyperphagia, a medical term for extreme insatiable hunger. Yeah, we said it was some sort of mindless munching was a chronic hyperphagia. Liz, speaking of weird words like hyperphagia, do you know that trail mix has a lot of different names?
No.
Well, guess what the name is in the United States that trail mix may have originally gone by?
Trail mix.
Yes, obviously. But it was also called, Alyssa, Gorp.
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 Gorp, not Gorp. Gorp.
Gorp.
That's an O, not an E. Gorp.
Gorp.
Gorp. And Liz,
Miss
Gorp. Gorp might be an acronym. It may be a thing called a backronym. We'll talk about that in just a moment. For GORP, good old raisins and peanuts, Liz. Or also, later on, granola, oats, raisins, and peanuts. Like, again, the constituent parts of trail mix. But Gorp, also, Alyssa, might have been a reference to an old word, also from the 1910s, coincidentally enough. Gorp meant to eat something greedily. So, like, to shovel handfuls of something into your face.
Wow.
Like, if you're out there gorping, you're just chomping away.
So this is like a pliable, but without the yogurt and smoothie.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the same stuff that's in a pliable, but without that base of...
Can we get pliables later?
Can we get pliables later? I mean, I guess if you would like a pliable later, we could have one.
That's what I want for my lunch.
Will that make you feel healthy if you eat a pliable today? If you're gorping on some playa?
I don't even like strawberries in my pliable.
What do you like in your pliable?
I like the regular smoothie kind of thingy.
Smoothie kind of thingy. Go on.
And then the banana, and then Nutella, but I don't like raisins. So instead of the like grapes, I asked for the blueberries.
Great.
And then the top, the lid.
The lid, of course, the most important ingredient in the pliable,
and
the lid.
The cool green spoons.
They do have some pretty cool green spoons there, don't they?
What do you like in your pliable?
I generally can't get pliables because a lot of the stuff that it's made with has tree nuts or other things that I can't have. So like you get Nutella in yours sometimes, right? Yeah. I can't have Nutella because of the hazelnuts.
Oh, you're allergic to hazelnuts.
Yeah, I'm allergic to hazelnuts. We're going to talk.
I'm not.
We're going to talk quite a bit about this later, actually. So yeah, I don't generally get pliables, but Liz,
what? We
were talking a moment ago before we went on that pliable tangent about Gorp, obviously.
Gorp.
The original, possibly the original name for.
I'm gonna call it Gorp. Well, you can call it Gorp.
You know what Gorp reminds me of? It sounds like something from Dungeons and Dragons. So this sounds like a snack that you might have while you're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like if you're out doing a D&D campaign in someone's basement somewhere and you say, hey, pass me that Gorp. Or if you were in Philadelphia, you would say, pass me the Gorp, John.
John, pass me that, John.
Gorp, John.
Give me that, John. Put that John away. Wait, Dad, this reminds me of me and friend of the show, Vivian.
Shout out to Viv.
Our word guap from art class.
Guap.
Guap.
What is to guap, should I ask?
No.
Okay. Shout out to Viv. Liz, if you were in Australia, you might call Gorp or trail mix scroggin. Scroggin in Australia, Liz, a schmoggle in New Zealand, just across the way. So if you were hungry for a handful of trail mix, depending on where you are in the world, you might ask for Gorp, scroggin, or schmoggle. In Iran, there's a nut mix called ahil that's eaten at festivals. And of course, we called the student oats or student fodder in some European countries like Denmark or Germany. Although in many cases, except for around Christmas time, your student fodder will not contain chocolate, we said.
Yes.
And Liz, we just have recounted all the different names for trail mix. If you know any other names for trail mix or Gorp or Schmagen or Scrogen or Schmoggle that you might want to let us know about, hit us up at Junk Feud Pod, wherever you choose to be social, or via email. Alyssa, there are a lot of different varieties of trail mix too, aren't there?
Yeah.
Like all sorts of different flavors based on the general Gorp-like base. Every store and brand has its own signature mix and lots of different offshoots or varieties. Basically any incorporation of any manner of small snackable morsels that follows some sort of theme. And of course, you might have limited runs depending on the holiday that's coming up. So like if you go into your local Target, for example, you'll find bags of Halloween or Thanksgiving or Christmas themed mixes, for example. You might also find like red and pink varieties around Valentine's Day. Have you seen some of things in the store, Liz? Sure. You don't remember, do you?
Oh.
Have you ever heard of some of these varieties of trail mix, Liz? Cape Cod trail mix has cranberries in it, dried cranberries.
No.
Hawaiian has pineapple and mango.
I want that one.
A Mexican or Tex-Mex trail mix will usually have chili powder and pepitas.
Pepitas.
Your mom likes pepitas. Your mom. Monster trail mix, Alyssa, has chocolate and peanut butter in it in some fashion.
I don't like peanut butter.
Santa Fe trail mix with toasted corn.
Yeah.
Zen style or Asian trail mix usually has rice crackers.
Cool.
Maybe some wasabi peas sometimes. And of course, there are any manner of candy-based mixes. I saw some birthday cake flavored trail mix the other day, Liz.
We couldn't get a lot of trail mixes from the store because most of them had almonds.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a minute, Liz. We had a bit of a handicap in doing this show, and that is that we both have a crippling nut allergy.
Yes.
Which is along the lines of like chronic discomfort, disease, illness. This is not one of the things that is like terribly affecting day to day. If you live with like chronic pain or illness, you are in much worse shape than we are. So please don't get it twisted when we say we have a bad nut allergy and that it sucks, because it does suck, but it doesn't suck all the time because we can simply choose not to eat cashews and pistachios. Everybody else that is in like real pain all the time can't just choose not to be in pain anymore. But it is inconvenient when there are so many things that have nuts in them that are good. Like
especially if you do a food podcast.
Especially if you do a food podcast.
And you can't have the food
That's right.
You need to try.
And you want to talk about trail mix, because most trail mixes that you can buy prepackaged
have almonds, pistachios, cashews.
Cashews, pistachios, almonds, walnuts. I'm sensitive to all tree nuts, including, of course, almonds, which are the basis for most of these prepackaged mix. And it's kind of bummer. And I know, here's the thing. I know we're not going to be giving trail mix a fair shake in its review today because of that. We're going to try anyway. Alyssa, you were there with me. We had a tough time even finding a variety of trail mix that we could safely eat, that you could buy in the store. We looked at literally dozens.
Literally. You mean literally or figuratively?
I mean literally dozens of varieties in Target, Walmart. I went to a variety of gas stations and convenience stores, including Wawa. I found exactly 4 bags that wouldn't kill me.
We found a whopping 4.
A whopping 4. And 2 of those 4 were basically just candy. So they were like barely what you would call trail mix. But Liz, the way that most people get around that is that they use homemade recipes for trail mix. Just like with the snack mix, the Chex Mix that we talked about at Christmas time, anybody can make a trail mix at home. Any mix of nuts, dried fruit, other stuff, usually like we said, granola, chocolate, or seeds, can be called a trail mix. There is no end to the creativity and variety on display when people make their own. And I think just like with those other mixes that we talked about, every family has their own recipe that they pass down through generations because it's a simple thing to get ingredients. A lot of people have this stuff on hand already, just raid the pantry, mix up a batch. But if there's like a decent enough grocery store close by, they probably have those bulk bins where you can mix and match bulk nuts and seeds and dried fruits and create your own special outdooring concoction.
Does ours have that?
Well, yeah, if we venture out to like a Whole Foods or a Wegmans or
the rich people shop, right?
The fancy, we wear scarves indoors, rich people shop, right? Yeah, that's right.
That's where I got my Stanley.
That's where you got your Stanley tumbler from the Whole Foods. That's correct. Liz, if you were going to make your own trail mix, like not me making it for you, but if you were going to make your own trail mix, nuts, dried fruit, seeds, granola, chocolate, other crunchy bits, what would you put in it?
Okay, so pretzels,
Okay.
M&Ms.
Pretzels and M&Ms.
Peanuts.
Peanuts, excellent choice.
Granola with drizzled Nutella, like
Nutella
dried.
Nutella granola chunks.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one.
Wait, it was okay. And I don't really like dried fruit, so my dried fruit would be those like little banana baby food puffs.
Oh, interesting. So I would have said something like a banana chip, which I like quite a bit, but you would say the baby food Gerber baby puffs, but banana flavored.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting. So that's the whole thing?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
or
pretty
those
good...
yogurt melts.
Oh, like little yogos, whatever they're called. Little
Can
yogurt
we get
chips.
Some of those?
Well, maybe if we go to the fancy people
No,
grocery
we need
store.
to go to Walmart to get that flag.
I think that was the Taylor Swift for President 2024 flag is not a thing that they just keep on hand in the Walmart stores. That was a Walmart.com fulfillment. That's not a thing you can just go to the store and buy right now.
Oh.
Liz, if we were going to adventure out today, not necessarily to Walmart to buy a Taylor Swift flag or to the fancy grocery store to buy yogurt buds, Liz, we might go and take some trail mix and go to a national park. What do you know about the national park system, Alyssa?
I have no idea.
Well, Liz, you've been to some national parks.
I have?
Yeah, you have. I've said it on this show before. I think the national park system in the United States of America may be the single greatest American contribution to the world, full stop. Alyssa, National Trail Mix Day is coming up. It's August 31st. In a perfect world, you take a bag of trail mix on National Trail Mix Day. You would go and hike through a national park. And those national parks lists are a collection of some of the most scenic and historic places in our country. They've been set aside not for private development, Alyssa, but for the use and enjoyment of the public. It's just a bunch of spaces that everybody got together and said, you know, this is so beautiful, so expansive, filled with so much splendor and grandeur. We need to preserve this so that everyone can enjoy it, so that it won't be destroyed or sullied by growth and expansion.
Snack to school is soon.
Yeah, Snack to School is going to be coming up soon, isn't it?
No.
I'm excited for that. We are going to do, hey, spoiler alert, Snack to School this year, Alyssa, going to be breakfast cereal themed. Are you excited for that?
I don't really like cereal.
Well, I have bad news for you then.
I've got some boo-boo face.
Yeah, you're going to have boo-boo face for an entire month. Liz, I don't have any now because I'm thinking back about these national parks again. The concept of the national park, a uniquely American innovation, grew out of the 19th century conservation movement. Do you know what that is, Liz?
No.
Liz, the conservation movement was this idea at the turn of the century, going from the 1800s to the 1900s. There were these sort of dual things happening at the same time, and they were industrialization and urbanization. Do you know what that is?
No.
Well, industrialization was like the growth of large industry, steam engines and such, printing presses and such. Urbanization, of course, was the growth of cities, the sprawl of urban environments and people moving into the cities. And the U.S. is very large, but it's not completely unspoiled. And to make cities and highways, you have to like blast and plow and pave large swaths of natural splendor. And you can never get that back, at least not in our lifetimes. So in the progress and development of the turn of the century list, there was a little bit of fear because the expansion of industry was heading west. And so many famous outdoors people would venture west and they would see the natural beauty of places like Yellowstone, for example. You've heard of Yellowstone, yes?
Yeah.
Where Yogi Bear lives?
Yeah.
That's Jellystone.
Oh.
Yellowstone is where Kevin Costner lives.
Oh. Who's that?
He's an actor.
Oh.
Your grandmother's favorite actor, by the way. Liz, they decided, these people got together and decided they were going to preserve these open outdoor spaces forever so that they could be enjoyed not just by the people there that were saving them, but by every future generation forevermore. There are currently 401 national parks, Alyssa. That's way more than people think. There's like 63 big ones that everybody is kind of aware of, but there are 401 in total. They comprise some 84 million acres of the United States of America, Alyssa.
Land and sea.
Land and sea, that's right. Like I said, we have visited some.
Yeah.
We were at Joshua Tree earlier this year.
We were?
We were.
Where
Joshua
was that?
Tree. We took a drive there from Palm Springs. Remember we hiked through that desert?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Just wide open expanse as far as the eye could see.
Yes.
In a few days, Alyssa, spoiler alert, we're heading up to Acadia.
Yes.
Acadia National Park in Maine.
Yes.
We've been there before, actually. We saw Thunder Hole, hiked a few trails.
Oh, is that the one where we went really high up and you could like walk through the clouds?
Yes, that's right. We were walking through clouds. That was really fun. Liz, did you know there are even some national parks here in New Jersey?
Really?
There are. The Delaware Water Gap, for example.
Yeah.
We have gone tubing there on the river.
Me and Mom got stuck in there.
You and your mom went tubing and got stuck in the river?
6 hours.
For 6 hours, that's right. Ellis Island, Alyssa, counts as part of New Jersey. That's where my ancestors traveled through on their way to the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, there are parts of Morristown, New Jersey. We've passed by like Fort Nonsense, for example, Washington's headquarters in Morristown, where I used to play baseball, where the revolutionaries fought and stayed and lived. And then, of course, even parts of the New Jersey shore, Alyssa, like Sandy Hook.
How about the place in Virginia?
Yorktown, the battlefields?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know if those are actual national parks. I'm sure someone will tell me. I would venture to guess that they might be.
Maybe.
So of all those places, Liz, what would you say is your favorite national park that you've been to?
Definitely not the Delaware Water Gap.
Sure.
I've never been to Ellis Island.
No, you haven't. I'm asking of the ones you've been to, which are your favorite?
Probably Acadia.
Acadia, an excellent national park, I would say.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite of the ones we've been to as well.
It's really fun to go up to like the top and everything is like wet.
Yeah, that's right. Liz.
What?
I said that was my favorite national park.
Holy moly.
Are you ready for my favorite part of this show?
Yes.
Alyssa reads the ingredients. Are you ready?
Yes.
So this is a bit odd because there's a very long ingredients list today, which there shouldn't be because trail mix is just a bunch of stuff mixed together.
Yeah.
But some of these constituent parts have a lot of ingredients in them. So why don't you go ahead, Liz? And I'll preface this by saying today we're going to try Monster Trail Mix from Target's brand Favorite Day.
Yes.
So let's hear what's in that.
So am I reading, when I do this, do I have to do like blue 1, yellow 6?
Are you going to read the ingredients?
Yes.
Then you should read all of the ingredients, shouldn't you?
Yes. Okay.
Get going.
Peanuts, M&M milk chocolate, candies, milk chocolate, sugar chocolate, skim milk, cocoa butter, lactose, milk fat, soy lecithin, salt, artificial and natural flavors, sugar, cornstarch, less than 1%, corn syrup, dextrin. Coloring includes blue 1, like yellow 6, red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, yellow 6, lake, red 40, lake, yellow 5, lake, blue 2, lake, blue 2, carnauba wax, gum acacia, raisins, milk chocolate chips, sugar, cocoa butter, milk, chocolate liquor, soy lecithin, artificial flavor, peanut butter, chips, sugar, hydrogenated palm kernel oil, partially defatted peanut flour, non-fat milk, whey powder, peanut butter, peanuts, hydrogenated rapeseed, and cottonseed oil, dextrose, salt, soy lecithin, vegetable oil, peanut, cottonseed, soybean, and or sunflower seed oil, and sea salt.
Yeah, so, I mean, really, that's a lot of ingredients, but it's mostly because there are a lot of ingredients in M&Ms and chocolate chips and peanut butter chips. Yeah. And really, this is just peanuts, M&Ms, raisins, chocolate chips, and peanut butter chips. Does that make
M&Ms.
sense? Yeah, I said that.
Oh.
Liz.
What?
That was a lot, but let's get to the rules of the game. Junk Feud is a culinary clash to see which treat will be crowned the undisputed champion of snacks. It's a king of the mountain style battle in which the reigning champ takes on a new challenger each week to see which snack reigns supreme. And Alyssa.
What?
The reigning defending undisputed champion of snacks is...
sunflower seeds!
Yeah, sunflower seeds, new champ. Bit of an upset, actually, in my estimation, Liz.
Really?
Yeah, can you believe that? I knew sunflower seeds had an outside chance at the title because of how much we liked them, but I wasn't sure if the timing was right because cookie dough was a strong champion.
Yeah.
Still, sunflower seeds are the best, and now they've proved
yesterday.
It. That's right, we ate a bunch last night while we were watching Last Crusade. So Liz, here's the challenger. Today we're trying trail mix, and we have one of the only ones we can actually try because it didn't have almonds in it. Monster Trail Mix from Target's in-house brand Favorite Day. Like I said, one of the only pre-packaged trail mixes we can eat. It has a little tag on the front that says delicious in case they needed to remind you. And the arrow where it's indicating that we should rip the top off of the resealable bag says there is delight inside. Go ahead. Let's see if you can actually do it. And while you're doing that, Liz, hold on. What's that?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. We also have peanut butter chocolate trail mix, also from Favorite Day, also indicating there's delight inside. And this one says happiness is delicious. Liz, we're going to go in a different direction here. So we have one trail mix that is, my gosh, what did you do to that bag? How did you do that? Oh my goodness, it looks like it was mauled by an animal. You can't even open it now. Good grief.
Good grief, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, good grief, Charlie Brown. That's right. Oh my gosh. How did you manage this?
I don't know. I tear it. I did the tear.
You did something. Okay,
Smells
so
like
right away,
peanuts.
it smells like peanuts and peanut butter and chocolate. I say I'd think that if I wanted to try this, I would probably want like some sunflower seed kernels in this too. That would be a little bit more
Yes.
ideal.
We should make our own, Dad.
I mean, we may just end up doing that. We have a bag of sunflower seeds downstairs.
Ew, raisins like gross me out.
So I'm looking at this now, and it is, of course, just some very simple. These appear to be unsalted,
Are
dry
these peanut
roasted
M&Ms?
peanuts. Nope, those are regular M&Ms. They are regular M&Ms, and they're real M&Ms. They have the M imprint on them. It's interesting to think that Target would license or purchase real M&Ms to put in their generic in-house brand snack mix or trail mix, because they could have just gotten generic M&Ms, but I'm guessing the brand awareness for M&Ms is probably too high, and also the economy of scale for M&M production is probably so high that there is not much to be gained by going with a competitor. Liz, I was
Separating
saying,
them.
this is like the healthy style trail mix, like the traditional healthy eat this on the trail and reconstitute yourself kind of trail mix. But then this peanut butter chocolate one is essentially just candy. I'm looking at it right now. The ingredients here are, or the constituent parts, I should say, peanut butter cups, milk chocolate covered cereal squares, peanuts, chocolate chips, and peanut butter chips. So this is Reese's Cups and Muddy Buddies style puppy chow with peanuts, chocolate chips, and peanut butter chips. This is not trail mix, even though it says it on the bag. This is just candy. So we're gonna do a little bit of a comparison here.
I've organized.
Thank you for organizing. You have broken down all of the parts. You have 2 peanut butter chips, 4 chocolate chips, 5 M&Ms, a handful of peanuts, and a handful of raisins. Does that look about right?
Yes.
Well, with that, it's crunch time.
Crunch time.
We rate our snacks using a tier list from sprinkles to fun dip.
Sprinkles to fund it.
So snacks can be graded A, B, C, D, or F, with the very best treats earning the elusive S tier ranking. The following contest is scheduled for 1 serving.
1 serving.
And as for the undisputed championship of junk food, the packaging here is a little bit lacking.
Yes.
There are interesting patterns in the background on the bag, but they make it look like something that you would find in a candy shop, don't they?
Yeah.
It looks kind of like the wallpaper that would be in a candy store or a soda fountain.
Yeah, like the pink.
Yeah, there is a nice clear window on the front so you can actually see what's in the bags, which I appreciate.
And they're actually full, not like the sunflower seeds.
Yeah, they are actually full, not like the Takis sunflower seeds we got. This is a large bag. This is a 14-ounce bag of Monster Trail Mix. So this is pretty heavy. And in fact, when you look at it, it says the serving size is 1/4 of a cup, which is 180 calories, and there are 11 servings per container. So there's quite a bit of food in here.
Yeah.
Interestingly, by contrast, the peanut butter chocolate trail mix bag costs exactly the same, but is only 8 ounces to the 14 of the other trail mix, probably because there's more stuff in here that is more expensive by volume and by weight.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to try that out. But before we do that, I think what we should do here, Liz, is try
Get one of each.
One of each ingredient just to see what they're like. Try them individually.
I already tried an M&M.
Oh yeah? How was it?
It was amazing.
M&M-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah, M&Ms are still good. I'll try one now. Yep, it's an M&M.
All right,
That's
now
simple.
do the regular chocolate chip.
Regular chocolate chip.
That's not the regular one.
Yeah, it was.
Shoot. I dropped it.
You dropped it on the floor. Yeah, these are just regular semi-sweet chocolate chips, the kind you might get in the Toll House bag and put in chocolate chip cookie dough or a chocolate chip. They are good. I usually add a handful of chocolate chips to any snack mix that I make.
All right, now peanut butter.
I think the peanut butter chips are a bit of a wild card here, Liz.
That's actually good.
Yeah, very soft, very sweet. A nice roasted flavor to them.
Yeah. Now the
That's
peanut,
interesting. The peanuts I'm not terribly excited for because even though I love peanuts,
they're not salted enough.
yeah, they're not salted enough. I did notice that the M&M tasted a little bit salty. So I think there is probably some salt added here. I think sea salt was like the last ingredient on the list, right? Yeah, it was sea salt. I don't know. The peanuts aren't doing a lot for me. They're just very basic, very generic peanuts.
Ew.
And the raisins.
Are they good?
Yeah, they're raisins. Raisins are good.
What even are raisins?
They're just dried grapes, dear. They're good. They're very sweet, a little bit jammy. They have sort of a deep, earthy flavor to them. I really like raisins. I loved raisins when I was a kid. I was the one child that was excited to get the little red box of Sun-Maid raisins when I went out trick-or-treating. All right, so by itself, each one of the ingredients in this trail mix is fine, except I would say for the peanut butter chips, which are a little bit better than fine. But now, here's the big thing. Heterogeneity, of course, one of the big bumper stickers for this show. Synergy here of taking all of these different parts and eating them together such that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Do you know what that means?
No.
Like putting all of these things together elevates them higher than if you just had each one of the things by itself.
Okay, ready? Go.
So I've got a whole handful. You've got one of each thing here. All right. It's good. It's very good. I like the interplay between the raisins and the peanut butter chips. I like the differences in textures and flavors, obviously. I am definitely still missing the little oily pops of the sunflower kernels. There should be some sort of seed in this, I think, which would really put it over the top. But overall, your first impressions of just trail mix, which you're having for the first time as you're looking on the floor for all the pieces that you've dropped.
I'm just going to eat that.
You're going back in for more. It's a promising sign. A little bit about raisins, Liz, since you don't seem to have had raisins before. There are kind of 3 different ways you can have raisins. If you're just eating raisins out of a box, they're going to be exactly what you would expect. Dried grapes, soft and sweet, a little earthy, a little bit fruity, jammy, nutty almost. If you get them in a bag like this, they're going to have some salt on them that's rubbed off from the other ingredients. Wow, you're going to town on this bag of trail mix here. You seem to like it, huh? That's good. I'm happy about that. Salty raisins are not as good as plain raisins, and they're not as good as sugared raisins, which are the kind you might get in a box of Raisin Bran cereal lists. Those are like heavily, heavily sugared and very, very sweet. So I'm glad that you like this. You haven't had breakfast today, I guess, and it's almost lunchtime now. So I'm guessing that's why you're going to town on these. All right, see, that's how you open a bag, by the way. Clean zip right across the top. We're now going to try the Favorite Day Peanut Butter Chocolate Trail Mix, which it smells very peanut buttery and chocolatey. It looks great, honestly. Look at that.
Oh, wait, let me smell that. It smells like a hot chocolate cereal.
A hot chocolate cereal? What is a hot chocolate cereal?
No, remember those?
Oh, like the Elf on the Shelf hot chocolate cereal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. It kind of does. There's a little bit of cocoa to it. I think that's mostly because there are at least 3 different milk chocolate flavors in here. So I've got one of these little peanut butter cups. These are not Reese's branded peanut butter cups. You've got just an entire mountain of Muddy Buddies, of Puppy Chow here. For those that don't know, Puppy Chow is Chex cereal that's been covered in melted chocolate and dusted with powdered sugar. I'm going to try this peanut butter cup, Liz.
Okay. I think I got it a little more even.
Yeah, you do. So the peanut butter cup is good, obviously. It's like a miniature peanut butter cup that you might find as I'll say as like a topping for ice cream, for example. Does that look about right? Like it would be mixed into a flurry?
Mm-hmm.
The peanuts seem to be the same peanuts as the Monster Trail Mix.
Yeah.
Yep. Peanut butter chip and chocolate chip the same. But now the chocolate covered cereal piece. And those are just excellent. Super sweet, super crunchy. That great crispy texture of Chex.
Oh, so good.
The little pop of sweetness on the outside from the powdered sugar dusting. That's really, I think, probably powdered sugar, which has cornstarch in it, which is mostly to keep it from sticking. That's good, though. I'm going to borrow from you one of each here so that I can do the handful.
Yeah, I kind of got out a lot. Okay.
So let's try everything together. Oh, that's a bit overwhelming. That is a lot of chocolate.
Yeah.
A good amount of peanut butter. It's basically just eating a handful of candy.
Yeah.
Which I don't have anything against, but I don't think it counts as trail mix. Oh. I would not bring this with me on a trail. Everything would melt, first of all.
Yeah.
I would probably get a sugar crash. I think it's still good, though. It's still really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hit the bliss point. What do you think about all this?
I definitely like the regular trail mix better.
Yeah, for your first time having trail mix, you ate quite a lot of that. You seem to be digging it.
It was really good.
It is really good. Trail mix is a good snack. It's mostly healthy in the right circumstances.
Yeah.
It's got a good mixture of flavors and textures, which we love. And for the most part, it's all things that we like that are not terribly complicated. A little bit of chocolate, a little bit of peanut butter.
Still not a big fan of raisins.
Crunchy peanuts, chewy raisins, which you still don't like a lot. But I think in this application, they're work
okay.
because you're putting them together with other things. So that's a positive development. What do you think as far as your score from sprinkles to Fun Dip?
I give regular trail mix an A.
Wow, an A flat. Very good score. Very good score. What about the peanut butter chocolate trail mix?
That's like a B.
Okay, B flat. So I would say, Liz, I think probably I would give both of these a B plus. Now, I'm rating them the same because trail mix is good. It's not like over the top good like some of these other engineered snacks that we've ever had in the past. I mean, there's a lot of food science alchemy that goes into something like a Dorito or an Oreo that just isn't there with trail mix because it's just a mixture of a bunch of ingredients.
Yeah, I'm going to lower my rating to an A minus.
Oh, you don't have to.
No, I'm going to.
Okay. I give the peanut butter chocolate trail mix the same score because it's a better snack because it's tastier stuff, but it's not, I don't think it's trail mix, and I think it should be punished for that.
Yeah.
That's right. Remember, when we score things on this show, we're not scoring things based on how good they are, but how they are about how good they are, which is to say, are they doing the thing they're supposed to be doing? This says on the bag that this is trail mix, but it is not trail mix. It's candy.
Yeah, this one says to put it on top of ice cream.
Yeah, and I think that's the right application for this, as like a crunchy, sweet ice cream topping, more than something you'd grab a handful of before you summit a peak somewhere, right?
Yeah, this would probably make me want to faint.
Yeah, for sure. So, Liz, I think we can call it your winner and still reigning defending undisputed champion of snacks, sunflower seeds.
Yeah. Wait, Dad.
Yes, dear.
So, on the bags, so the total sugars is 15 grams on this one, and it includes 13 grams of added sugar, where on this one it's 17 grams, and it includes 11 nuts.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that's because this one has the Monster Trail Mix, which has more sugar, actually more sugar per quarter cup, slightly higher weight, just because of the density, the comparative densities of them. A little bit more sugar because...
They're practically filled the same, though.
Yeah, so the Monster Mix has M&Ms, which have sugar, peanut butter chips, which have sugar, chocolate chips, which have sugar, and then raisins, which have quite a lot of natural sugar themselves, actually.
Yeah.
And really the peanuts, the only thing that don't have sugar in them. But that's the same thing for the other side, except the chocolate covered cereal pieces. The Chex cereal does not have a lot of sugar in it. So per volume, probably slightly less. But that's an interesting observation there, Liz. The thing that we perceive as healthier actually has more sugar in it.
Yeah.
Wow. How about that? Anyway, Sunflower Seeds does it again. Or I guess does it for the first time, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Liz, it's time to get to the Oreo rule. We have no new Oreos right now.
Yes.
Thank goodness. There were a few at the start of the season. Brief moratorium, probably for the rest of the summer, if I had to guess. And so that leads us to ask a very important question, Alyssa.
Oh, they have the same amount. Never mind.
Same amount per volume?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Liz.
What?
Each week on this show, we ask a very important question. Can you deep fry this week's snack? Will it deep fry?
Maybe?
What do you think? Yeah, maybe. I guess, right? It's tough to find a recipe for deep fried trail mix online. There's a few recipes for making varieties of snack mixes in the air fryer, which is kind of close, but not exactly what we're looking for because that's more like a Chex Mix thing.
Yeah.
I did find a spiced Indian snack mix that's called chevdo that was referenced in a cookbook that I found online called Jaconi, and it was described as a deep fried trail mix, which is cornflakes, Rice Krispies, Daria graham, cashews, almonds, and peanuts that you run through a fryer and then you season with sort of like a curry spice mix. But I think maybe deep fried Chex Mix might be a thing in Australia, Alyssa.
Really?
Yeah, so in 2014, there was this Australian adventure race through the outback. There was a team that was registered to participate in that race, and they were called Deep Fried Trail Mix.
Wow.
Yeah, it was two guys named Matthew Kerr and Alan Maines that made up Team Deep Fried Trail Mix. I was also, Alyssa, and this is a bit of a deep cut, I found a message board post by a user named Osak on a G.I. Joe toys forum that's called hisstank.com.
My gosh.
And this user claimed that he invented deep fried trail mix while he was in college.
Really?
Yeah, somebody asked him about it. He said there was no real recipe. You just take whatever ingredients you have lying around and you throw them into a fry daddy. Now, here's the interesting thing about this I'm going to get slightly conspiratorial for a moment. This was also an Australian person,
Mhm.
And it was also around the same point in time as that Outback race. So this might be the same person that's like super into G.I. Joe toys and claims to have invented deep fried trail mix and also raced through the Outback on an adventure race.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Sure.
No opinion on the matter, huh?
No.
Well, in that case, Alyssa, let's check out the back of the box, a weekly segment where we play a little game. Would you like to play a game?
Sure.
This week's segment is one of my favorites, perennial favorite, Snack to the Future.
We just did this.
We just did one, and I liked it so much, we're going to do another one. Liz, on Snack to the Future, we use foresight techniques to imagine the future of snacking. Alyssa,
Yes.
the year is 2050.
Yes.
You have some kids of your own
Maybe.
by now, don't you? My grandchildren.
Your grandpa.
Yeah, we're just going to guess. We are all on a great family road trip across this beautiful country, Alyssa. We are on our way to visit the newest proclaimed national park, so proclaimed by President Taylor Swift in her second term. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alyssa, what would you say is this newest national park? What's it called? Where is it? What does it have?
Okay, so Cardi B invented it.
Cardi B invented a national park that Taylor Swift made part of the national park system. Go ahead.
Okay, so it is in the middle of Idaho.
Idaho. It's in Idaho. Potato country.
Yes,
Okay.
and so
Is Cardi B from Idaho?
no, I
Okay.
don't know where she's from,
Okay.
but she's not from. No, not Idaho. It's in Wisconsin.
It's in Wisconsin. Okay.
Yes,
Cheese country.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so basically, she wanted to stick with the theme of cheese for
Okay.
it. So at the national park, you hike down into this little cave, and everywhere you go, you can see cheese sculptures of Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Ariana Grande, and then if you pay $1,000 to Taylor Swift, you can take a bite out of the cheese sculpture.
Okay, well, I think the for-profit nature of this particular item sort of violates the principle of the National Park Service, at least in spirit. Okay, so there's a cave in Wisconsin that you hike down into.
The stairs are made of cheese.
The
blocks.
stairs are also made of cheese. Well,
Like those
that would have to be
big
like
No, like the big circle.
big cheese wheels. Yeah, it would have to be a hard cheese, like a pecorino.
Yeah.
So
I'm a pecorino.
You are a pecorino, that's right. So you would have to hike down pecorino cheese wheel block steps into a cave where there are cheese sculptures of Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and Ariana Grande. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
What's this park called? This cheese park?
Hold on a second. We need to see. Okay. So we'll do, so it's Carblandia.
Carblandia.
Yes.
Carblandia National Park.
Yes.
I like it.
Because carb.
Because carb?
Cardi.
Like Cardi B.
Cardi.
Carblandia.
Carblandia.
Carblandia in Wisconsin, where we are taking my grandchildren to hike and possibly pay $1,000 to bite a piece of
Ariana Grande's ponytail.
cheddar Ariana Grande's ponytail. Very nice. Now, Liz, we're going to get...
Ariana Grande is Swiss.
Oh, she's made of Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. We're going to get hungry, Alyssa, on the long trek down those pecorino steps. What kind of homemade trail mix are we snacking on as we hike down into the cavern of lactose wonders here? What are the ingredients in this snack mix?
So, remember our last time my snazzleberry?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
those are in there.
So dried
Those are in there.
snazzleberries?
No, they're not dried.
Well, I mean, you should probably dry them,
you can't
right?
dry snazzleberries.
Oh, because they're holographic?
Yes.
Okay, so fresh holographic snazzleberries.
Yeah, right off the
Right off the bat.
snazzleberry bush.
Right off the snazzleberry bush,
All
sure.
around the snazzleberry bush. There's going to be some dried pumpkin. I don't know why. But
Dried pumpkin?
There's going to be dried pumpkin.
Not pumpkin seeds, but pumpkin flesh.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the
fresh snazzleberries.
No, but the stringy part of it.
And stringy dried pumpkin. Wow, that sounds gross. Go on.
There's going to be some dried noodles.
Like ramen? Like crispy ramen?
Yeah. No. Like the one in the blue box. And
Just like raw penne pasta?
Yes.
Ugh.
Not penne.
Not penne.
Lasagna.
Though. Lasagna noodles.
Yes.
Dried sheets of raw lasagna.
Yes.
Okay.
And for our sauce, we're going to...
There's no sauce on trail mix.
Well, there is for this.
Okay.
This is what? How many years in the future?
Enough. that we put sauce on trail mix now, I guess.
So we put some snazzleberry juice, and the snazzleberry juice is mixed with the pineapple juice. So this is like our drink, but it's like poured on top. So it soaks in to the lasagna sheets. And that way it doesn't like go on anything else, but it's like in there. So when you bite it, it like splashes everywhere.
Okay, so you have snazzleberries, dried pumpkin strings, and a snazzu-rettle soaked lasagna sheet.
Yes.
Wow. That sounds awful.
Done.
I wouldn't eat it.
Not done.
Oh, go on.
There's some checks, obviously.
And
like,
checks, of course.
We're not gonna like leave it like that, you know. And then there's gonna be some lime green pretzel sticks.
Lime green pretzel sticks.
Yes.
Why are the pretzel sticks lime green? Have we decimated the future wheat crop and we're using like seaweed or kelp or algae?
Yeah.
Okay, so algae pretzels.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. So algae pretzels.
But we don't use plastic, so we take it in a big mixing bowl.
Take it in a big mixing bowl that we carry around because we no longer use plastic.
Yeah.
All right, I like that part of it. We have algae pretzels. We have snazzu-rettle soaked lasagna sheets, dried pumpkin strings, and fresh snazzleberries.
Yes.
And that's the snack mix.
Mm-hmm.
What is this mix called?
Snazzu mix.
So we're eating snazzu mix.
Drinking snazzu-rettles.
Drinking snazzu-rettles as we hike through Carblandia in Wisconsin during the second term of President Taylor Swift's administration.
Yes. And
what a world.
And the new national anthem is Shake It Off.
And the new national anthem is Shake It Off, which is played before every hover baseball game.
Yeah.
I love it. That's an excellent future that we're barreling towards, I should say.
And in the jail cell, if you ever get put in jail and you're planning on getting away, you write getaway car on the floor.
You have to declare your intentions to escape from prison.
Yes, but if you sign it with getaway car, they let you leave.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good to know. That's like a secret life hack for going to jail in the future. Good to know. Liz, we got to stop doing this. This podcast should reach you in excellent condition, satisfaction guaranteed, or your money back. If you've got a question for us, you can write to the address on the label. That's junkfeudpod@gmail.com. Any final thoughts, Alyssa?
Ner,
she says.
Gorp.
Gorp. This podcast has contained your recommended daily allowance of Gorp. No, of fun. For more, go to Twitter, Instagram, or wherever you choose to be social and find us at Junk Feud Pod. You can watch fun size reviews on YouTube, buy our merch on TeePublic, and don't forget to catch all the snaction each and every week wherever you listen to podcasts. Until we see you again, for Alyssa, I'm Mike.
Hasta lasagna.
Don't get any on ya.
Wait, pasta lasagna with the juice on it.
With snazzleberry juice.
Yes, Hosta snazzleberry lasagna.
Don't get any on ya.
Bye!